we are with a fucking phenomenal day today. Coming right out of my mouth, excited. That's what happens when I get excited.
You get really excited.
Oh yeah, I go right to it because that's how we do it. We're in the kitchen in most of our lives, and that's how we talk. Kristen, introduce us today.
All right,
Let's do
so
this.
we're getting ready. World Food Championships. I'm echoing what's in the background right now. We're in sync today, which is great.
Yeah, it's live.
And they had a really cool thing here where they were doing this tasting, and they brought in chefs that were previous winners of the competition. So you are a first place winner. So go ahead, introduce yourself and the accolades that kind of came along with this competition.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I'm Chef James Aptekin, born and raised in Miami, head out to California. It took me to Hawaii, and that's why I got a phone call to do this World Food Championship. In 2016, knew nothing about it, and had 2 weeks to get my recipes together, fly to Orange Beach, Alabama, and figure it out. Did the top 20, got first place 2 days later, trying to figure out what I'm doing again. Got first place again, the top 10, and then it moved over to final table, freaking out, like, where am I gonna get my OPA from?
Yeah.
It was
So
like,
they give you back then and even now, they give you a subject. Basically, you show up, you cook, you don't expect to go to the finals, so
No.
you didn't have a plan B.
Correct.
You go to finals, and now they're going to tell you, okay, this is what you're cooking this time, and here's your ingredients, and you're like, shit, right?
well, back then I had my menu picked out, but I wasn't thinking I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
And OPA was what I had picked. So I have to stick with that. So what's funny is the final table, I get the OPA flown in from 5 different directions, just throwing needles to see if anything sticks. And then my friend drives up halibut. The OPA shows up 2 hours into the 4-hour final table, and it's shit. I literally throw it in the garbage in front of everybody. I know the film got that. And then all of a sudden I get in front of the judges and they're like, tell us about your OPA. And I'm like, well, it was halibut.
What happened was,
and I missed the grand prize by 0.25 of a point. And I'm like, you know what? Integrity is so much better than lying, you know?
yeah.
That's funny.
But I mean, the journey, it's about the people you meet, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the family, the backstories. I always say the backstories are so much better than the actual story. It's what happens behind it nobody ever hears about or sees.
Yeah.
the OPA, for instance. So there are people out there, and there are judges out there who will know halibut when they taste halibut.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So not that you were lying, the integrity was real, because it made yourself look like a more knowledgeable chef than not. And that's what's important, because you carry that on the rest of your life.
Correct.
And we start, when we're young, we start in the chef world, but we're so full of gumption. We have all these ideas about the competitions, and then we just want to be the best, and we want the people around us to know we're the best, and we compete, and we compete, and we compete. And we even compete with ourselves, right?
Yes.
We even tell ourselves when we're younger that we're actually better than we are. Am I wrong?
That is,
happens.
yeah.
It's not till you get hit in the head a couple times. With
Humility and
reality.
humbleness kicks in.
That comes with time and knowledge and experience.
Yes. Correct.
When did you notice yourself as a chef getting humbled? What time frame is that in your chapters in your career?
It had to have been about 2010, but moving to Hawaii in 2012 changed me as a human being, a father, a chef. It taught me how to listen before I speak. It taught me how to nurture, support, and empower a team, how to think differently, how to slow things down. But it really gave me humility and humbleness.
What was the factor in that, though? Was it Hawaii as an island?
The culture. Yeah.
Your kuleana is your purpose to take care of the land. It goes without saying. You're a kumo right away. You're a teacher. And that humility and humbleness, it's not about being great. It's about your team being great. It's about others. It's selfless acts of others. And that, I think, the spirit of giving back, the philanthropy, the doing all those special events to support and help people. I brought a Make-A-Wish, Adrian Avalar, the next year in 2017. Instead of trying to focus on the win, my win was getting him in front of the world's largest cooking stage. And when he went to interview me, I pushed him in front because I had my turn. But to see him like that was like chicken skin all over. To me, those wins are more powerful than holding a trophy, a ribbon, or saying I did it.
Yeah, and that's when you and I met him yesterday.
Yeah.
The first vibe we got from you is that you want to put back, and I said actually she said we got to talk to him, and I said you're absolutely right. That'd be a great story, because you have this charisma about you that it exceeds what's actually expected in the kitchen. In the kitchen, we talk a lot about the cussing, the swearing, the yelling, the screaming. That all comes with stress. Doesn't mean it's who we are. And it depends on what kitchen you're in, at what level that's going to be.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Correct.
How many people you're serving, what's going on, and what steps of service you have. Those are all factor into the level of debauchery that comes out of your mouth, and yelling and screaming and buffoonery and all that shit. So you have somewhat of a zen about you that's contagious. You know what I mean? And
I appreciate
that's very important in the kitchen.
Yeah,
you know?
and we
That's very
noticed
important.
because immediately with your chef coat, when we asked about it, you have a special story about it. Obviously, it reflects the culture in Hawaii. So tell everybody what happened and what that
So
represents.
I'm doing a dear friend's bereavement party, and there's about 250 people there. And about an hour before the event ended, this gentleman from Nicholas, world-renowned designer, did not know this at the time, comes up to me and starts talking shop with me. And he goes, I really like your chef coat. Do you mind if I take your chef coat? And he was so charismatic and so charming that I'm just like, here. And then I go up to my friend Helen. I'm like, Helen, I'm so embarrassed. I'm walking around your party with all these guests with a t-shirt. I am so sorry. I gave my chef coat to that guy over there. She goes, do you know who that is? And I go, no. And she told me he's a world-renowned designer. It's her cousin. She's like, you should be honored that he took your jacket. And now I feel like, okay, I feel better. So I get an email like, hey, give me some pictures of your tattoos. And I told my wife, if this goes any further, it's getting creepy.
Kind of creepy.
Stalker.
But I tell you what, 2 months later, I received this package in the mail. Best gift I've ever got in my life, with a card, and his whole team hand drew everything on here from the pictures. It's a one-off. And he made silk in the inside. He goes, I want it to be a second skin for you and fluid. He goes, when I saw you, you were fluid in the kitchen, and I wanted something to resemble that. And tattoos are too beautiful to hide. And he goes, anybody who helps my cousin Helen, I wanted to help you. And I'm like,
Right?
And
The
it
heartstrings
blends.
pulling.
Your full tattoos, but externally, so over the show, which is so cool.
and now I can share my story with people
Yeah.
instead of like, hey, underneath I got a.
Yeah, hey,
no,
here's
that's
let me show you my nipple. It's okay.
But
We
it's
don't
a
do
story
that.
that keeps going, right?
Y-
So you
it
carry
is.
this thing on with you whenever you need that inspiration, that fuel. I have my deal is my father was a chef. He passed away. I have his necklace. I carry that as my fuel when I'm doing these things. So I'm going to go judge and be responsible for the outcome of some people's lives right now. And after this recording, I'm going to do the final judging for that. And I feel that I'm going to have any influence I can have to help me come down in the zen you're in, so I can make sure I don't fuck up their dream of what it is they're putting their work into, right? Make sure
Crush
I have
their
a
dream.
proper thing. So we have what we need, and that seems to be yours.
You know, and I always say, but God puts people in our lives for certain reasons. And that day, I really needed it. I did this at very VIP event. It was interactive, cooking class, all that. I went through something dark in 2018. I lost my parents to suicide. I can talk about it now, coming out of the light. I dropped off the social medias. That's why I stopped competing. And I came back in, and sorry, I lost my concentration there. When I put this coat on, I used to be charismatic in front of 300 people, just feeling like myself, and I was scared. And when I put this on, that energy came back
felt
in,
that.
and I called him immediately after that, and I said, thank you. You gave me my old self back. I felt myself again. I was inspiring others, and
Well, I don't know who you were before, but I know who you are now, apparently, and that charisma is there.
I know.
You know, it's you're charismatic, and
Well, you said you
really
you,
have a good
you
vibe.
stopped competing, but you competed as well with the other show. So tell us about that, because you had another competition that you did outside of the World Food Championships.
So I've actually done several competitions, been
Yeah.
on Guys Grocery Games, been on different things. But the funny thing is, competitions for me, I'm not trying to beat another chef or say I'm better or I hold
Yeah.
a title to something. I have a very a backstory where I was in 12 different foster homes by the age of 4, and I was told I'd never amount to anything, and I went and learned to read or write like other kids because I was abused. But I took those lemons and made Tito's style, Michelin style lemonade out of it. Took those crutches that life gave me and made magic wands out of it. And just, I have to work 10 times harder than everybody else. But I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. I was trying to be a better version in my first part of my life, because to know you can do something is very powerful when you're told you can't. And I think the recipe is somebody believes in you, you believe in yourself, you get a spark, you get inspired, you get motivated and driven with passion on something. You're freaking effing unstoppable. Because if there's a roadblock, I don't see doors and windows. I see opportunity. Blow it up, dig a tunnel, go around it. I will be there. And then it's like military, right? It's done or not done. Nobody knows what happens behind the scenes. I could have a million great excuses why I can't do it. Nobody wants to hear that. So the fracture of what we do to ourselves mentally and physically to get there and smile like it's nothing, the backstory is that strength we got to find within us to never give up, persevere, and I called it Bill Bellamy. In 2008, I went on a Food Network catering. I'm talking to Bill Bellamy in a business, like little office after work in street clothes for an hour. He goes, by the way, what are you doing? I don't even know who he is. And I'm like, I'm trying to get on this Food Network thing. I got like 2 days to get all this stuff done. And he's like, dude, save your money. You already lost. I'm like, what? Turn around. I'm like, Bill Bellamy. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, you're right. Cool dude. And I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, use words like I will, I can. Those are powerful. Your mind's more stronger than your body. And I did that. And people go, how'd you win? And I go, I don't know. I wrote on God's shoulders and used words like I can and I will. We won by 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I see him the next week. I buy him and his entourage a beer. And I'm like, how can I ever repay you? And he goes, candlelight that shit. And I've been candlelighting that shit since 2008.
Nice. So you won, and that was Food Network. Which competition was that one?
It was a catering challenge.
That was the
So
catering challenge.
They never had another one, so I hold the #1 spot in the catering.
You're
so I
the
use that to
number
my
one.
advantage, you know?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So now you're catering now as a profession. That's what you do,
Yes.
and you have a catering company. So when you're catering, your company, what is it? What numbers are you looking at? You doing anything between 50 people to 300? Where are you at your level?
I'm doing volume. We're doing about 350 right now, but the place is going to be set up to do 1,000 soon. So my background is high volume,
Sure.
but I also spent time in the Michelin kitchens. So what I do is I take that Michelin standard of attention to detail,
Sure.
the hospitality,
Yep.
that high background, and that finesse, and I do comfort food on steroids. So if I'm doing, I've done up to 3,000 and more. So if you're the 3,001 customer, you're going to think I cooked from my kitchen, plated it to you within 10 minutes, as you were the first person or 3,001st
That's right.
person.
So
Beautiful.
perfect.
And it's all logistics,
Timing.
It's
strategy.
logistics.
People call it insanity. Why do you want to work that hard?
He says
When
that.
people come up to you and smile, that's why I want to work that hard.
Right, and people ask me that all the time, but I don't find it hard work. The hard work is when it's not coming together, like you said, behind the scenes and everything like that. But what drives us is that energy and that the look on their face,
Yes.
and that last person getting their food smiling as big as the first, right?
Yes.
And you go to a lot of banquets, you go to a lot of facilities, you got to go to weddings, and you can tell that the staff is burnt out. And how can you be burnt out? It's only one event. It's the first day of this event. I know people who do this 3 times a day and they're still putting out that power. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to a wedding and by the last dish comes to the table and you can tell it's a little tired, how can it be tired when this is all the only thing you had to do today and your life is a chef or in the restaurant industry?
Correct.
So it's frustrating being on this side of it, going to those events, because we really know what goes on behind the scenes. And a lot of the times, maybe it shouldn't have happened, but we can put those pieces together, right?
100%.
And it helps us. Well, or does it help us? I don't know.
Maybe.
Probably screws us, really.
Maybe it doesn't.
But
Yeah.
your energy, everything you're doing is amazing, and we wanted you on the show, both of us, because of that. Because
Yeah.
you just have this.
And
like
the
this
shrimp
energy.
was banging because that was
Yeah,
good.
Thank you.
the
I
pop
appreciate
Like
rocks.
literally pop it.
Oh,
He
yeah,
had
pop
pop rocks
rocks.
So
on
I'm
the
glad
shrimp.
you brought up the pop rocks. We're in Indiana. We're not in California. We're not in
Yeah.
Miami. We're not in Chicago. And I had so many people come up to me, and I hid those pop rocks.
Yeah.
And I had a lady
They're like-
30 minutes later come behind the wall and go, am I crazy? Was there a pop rock in there? And I go,
pop rock?
yeah, there's a pop rock in there. She goes to her husband, I told you there was a pop rock in there. The fact that somebody's talking about my dish 30 minutes later
So great.
is why we do it.
That's right.
Exactly.
Coming up here, there's this guy goes, by the way, I had your shrimp yesterday.
Oh.
What was that popping thing? And I go, he goes, why did you do that? That's kind of weird, but I loved it. And I said, because it's a day later and you're still talking about it.
Right,
Which is
right.
and
But it gave a
was.
good sweetness. It did
Oh,
what it had to do.
It did.
And that's
It
what I
was
did. I
great.
The plate.
substituted the sugar for that, kept it neutral, but I also evoked that emotion from you when you were a kid the first time
The
you had a
pop.
pop rock,
Sure.
that excitement.
Clack, clack,
and so you
clack.
have adults going,
What?
I had fun.
It's a party in your mouth.
You put the
It's
sugar in your
fine.
mouth, it's like, brah.
But you got to, it's already a mommy bomb explosion, so your brain's already
Oh, it
trying to
was,
figure all
yeah.
that stuff out. Then you have an actual pop going off, so your brain's like a secondary going, what just happened?
Yeah.
It was a cool layering.
That was effective.
And I could taste the Hawaiian, that influences. Yeah, it was beautiful.
good.
So
It
that
was
was
a
one
lot
of our
of fun.
favorite
I
things.
appreciate
So I
you.
have to say that. So
I get asked this a lot, and I think the secret, and I met somebody yesterday for the first time, and he had this aura about him. He had this passion about him, and he's had the medal. And I said, did you make the top 10? He goes, I got first place. And I go, of course you did. The secret weapon and ingredient is being driven, passionate, but the most important is have fun. If
Yeah.
you are having fun, that translates into love. Love is food, and you feel it.
It comes in your plate. every time.
Hospitality is not something
Yep.
you do, it's
Beautiful.
something you feel.
You can
Exactly.
taste an aggravated dish.
Thank you.
And when it's aggravated, it's because it
you.
wasn't made with the fun, it wasn't made with love, and the passion became a job. And once it becomes a job is when it becomes aggravated.
100%.
And when that plate comes out to you and it tastes aggravated, it
Yeah,
brings
you
you
can
down.
taste the
It
energy.
doesn't bring you up.
I teach my team to put different lenses on. Life is 10% what happens to us, 90% how we react, so make it a great one. If you see the glass, I go like this. I take a glass of half water, half air, and I'm like, guys, what is it? Half full, half empty? I get 3 answers. I'm like, it's a full glass. They're like, what are you talking about? Half full of water, half full of air. To me, it's how your perspective. That's a full fucking glass.
It's balance.
Exactly.
Like, go champion it, you know?
That's
So,
awesome.
since you get asked questions all the time, we're going to ask you a few right
So
now.
we have like rapid fire questions we've been asking
love it.
everybody. So you can answer with like one or two words on these. So we'll
Perfect.
go through them. All right. Besides a kitchen knife, what is your go-to? Can't live without kitchen tool.
Paring knife. I do everything
Still
with
a
a paring
knife.
knife.
He's,
It's my
he's like
finger.
he's not giving up
Well,
on the
it's not a
knife.
chef knife. Paring knife
It's not
is a
a
different
chef- yeah.
tool, and not enough people use them.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, not enough people use them.
No.
What puts you in the mood more, smell or visual?
Whoa.
We're talking
Whoa.
about
So you can't pick.
for
Food.
being
Visual.
creative.
I'm a visual.
Visual?
Visual?
Okay.
Cool.
All right. The worst position in the kitchen.
I would say dishwasher, but it's therapeutic. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But most people would say dishwasher.
Yeah. Best position in the kitchen.
Oh gosh, expediting.
Excellent.
Here in the limo, baby.
That is the popular answer, by the way.
One ingredient you could never live without.
Lemongrass.
Ooh,
Okay.
good one.
Oh, I love
That's a good
that.
one.
All right. Are there any methods of cooking that still intimidate you?
Sous vide.
Okay.
Yes. I've been waiting for someone to pull
Nobody
that out of their
said
mouth.
it yet. We
But I keep
waited for
saying, what about,
someone to
like,
say
sous
it.
vide,
I know.
sauté?
Something.
They never say it.
All right.
Because a lot of people don't do it, so they don't even know about it, right? Sous vide is intimidating.
For a guilty pleasure, favorite fast food restaurant.
In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger.
All right. If your kitchen was a car, what kind of car would it be?
A Ferrari.
Yes, my
Yes, we
man.
finally got a Ferrari.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
waiting.
We're getting old dump trucks, fucking
We had like everything.
dog sleds.
We had all sorts of answers on that one. Okay, baking, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, first, all right. Gloves or wash your hands?
Wash your hands.
Yep, perfect.
If you could cook with anyone, who would it be?
The people I'm thinking of, I already cook with them.
Oh, that's amazing.
I didn't get to cook with Joe Robert Schulman when I was there, and he's not around. But
That
that
would've
would
been a
be
good
my
one.
that would
That'd
be
be
my dream.
There's
Yeah.
an intimidating factor,
Yeah.
right? That'd be a
That
little
would be-
intimidating itself, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I would feel that way just because of what that name is, period. You know?
Yeah.
And everything he's brought to the culinary world. You have to be
I love
somewhat
it.
intimidated without being afraid. There's a different story there. You know what I mean?
You know, I have this saying that made me better as a chef 6 years ago: embrace the uncomfortable and run at it. Because there's stuff as chefs that we give away to people, and that's why we're not good at everything. Because we never want to learn, we don't like it, so we don't even try. But if you embrace that, you become an expert at it, even though you fucking scared out of your mind, you hate it. But embrace the uncomfortable, run at it, and grab onto it.
That's right.
And sooner or later, there's less things you fear in the kitchen.
I love it. Well,
Love
thank you, Chef James. It was awesome having you on.
To your lemongrass, I'm basil.
We
Fresh
go together,
basil.
baby.
Yes, they
Balance it
do.
out. Where can
Absolutely.
everybody find you online?
Instagram, Facebook, James Aptigan. I don't have any fancy titles, just James Aptigan.
All right.
Gotcha.
Chef,
All right.
thanks for your time. It's
Thank you
been a
for
pleasure,
being here
man.
with us.
My pleasure's mine.
Thank
Catch
you.
us out here at the World Food Championships. Let's say it in the full. We're having a great time meeting amazing people like this.
Appreciate you.
Chef, keep up the good work. We keep inspiring because you inspired me.
Yes.
I can't wait to get home and have that energy. I'm going to bring it back to my kitchen. Thank you very much. Ciao for now.
Love you. Keep the passion alive.